Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Bitcoin and ETH. We'll also look at the crypto index as well. The reason I'm starting with ETH for is because it's got a very nice clear pattern. So we were looking at wave 3 here. We were looking at wave 4 and we may be complete here already. So that's absolutely fantastic if that's the go. We'll just see how we go with that situation. But I think that that's 5 waves up here. So anyway, just starting from the beginning here, wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here for the A wave, the A, the B, and the C here for the B wave. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 here, cross for 2 here, down for 3 here, cross for 4 here, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So we could be finished there, and this could be the first impulse wave to the upside with an ABC correction, and then further upside here, while continuing in a larger pattern here. 5 waves here, correction, then another 5 waves moving up like that. Now, Bitcoin doesn't finish this leg here as nicely as 5 waves here. The crypto index does. So we'll just put it here. I don't know what good these indexes are just yet for this thing, but anyway, we've got 5 waves here for A wave, B wave, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And also too here, I harp on a lot when we're looking at a correction. So we have the market moving up, and then we have a wave A is normally sharp, which is this one here, and then we have wave B, and then I always mention about looking for wave C on a bit more of an angle here. So that tells me that the market's slowing down a little bit rather than having a wave 3 coming down here. So we can see the angles of these here. If I just put that to that and that to that here, the slight angle, isn't there? Slight difference, but yeah, you can see that this is strong and much longer here than this one here. So this is telling me that, well, suggesting that that we go up from here for this, up. Yeah, so I think that's interesting. I think we could have a low in place. So what happens if we don't have a low in place? Let's see what else we could make with this particular pattern here. The other way that we could look at this is that this leg down here as such, let's just say that it moves up here a little bit, just entertain me here for a moment. And that would be the 50-60% retracement level for this particular index here. So what we could do here is we could look at something like this. I'm just saying it's possible. So with a B wave here, so the market just gets a little bit bigger. So we have some sort of A, B, and C here, and then we have a 5 wave structure down here. So that's possible. So we just need to be aware of that. So we need to keep a close eye on it. The reason I'm showing you this for is that you don't overdo it in this area here, and that you're able to manage the situation. So let's go back to ETH for a moment. So yeah, it's possible that if we just look at an alternative structure here for a moment, copy this, copy that. Just so, yeah, probably down a bit, I guess. This is the problem with wave 4s, that you think you've got it, and then suddenly the whole thing just gets bigger. And this is the problem with using a lot of the software, Elliott Wave software programs, really, because what those algos try to do is that they pick wave 1, 2, and 3, and then they look just simply back for the 38.2% retracement level and start to get you in. But the problem is that wave 4s are complicated. So those software programs, they will just have the wave 4 here to start with, and then they would pop it to here, and then they would just pop it over to here. So they can get you into a lot of trouble, those things. And I suggest not to buy them and not to use them, because you're not going to learn anything if you don't think for yourself. So save yourself $3,000 or $5,000 or whatever it is and start just doing it yourself. When I started doing Elliott Wave, we didn't even have computers. So yeah, we had to do all our charts by hand, and so that really connected me to the markets much more. So I feel like that upbringing, I felt like I had a little edge there, understanding things a little bit better. But yeah, anyway, enough waffling. But so we just need to be careful about this here. So in our journey up here for this, let's just nail this down here as well. And also too, we need to talk about Bitcoin, because Bitcoin doesn't follow this particular pattern at the moment, not as neat and tidy as this. So I'm showing you the good thing first here, but I want you to see this first, because it's a very clear 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 5 here. So it's all pretty rosy at this stage, but we'd like to see it further up, of course. It does appear that we've got 5 waves here. Let's just check in on the tick chart here. Let's just see if we can really isolate that a little better. Well, we can see our first impulse wave and our corrective wave here, and then we've got yeah, maybe 1 and 2 in here. I mean, definitely a third wave here, but I'm wondering if this little move here belongs to that one. And that one there, that one belongs to that one. It's pretty much 5 waves though, either which way I look at it. It's looking good anyway. So we'll check on Bitcoins as well. So just go back here a tad. Go back to our 4-hour chart or 3-hour, well, not this one, to 1-hour chart. Okay, so let's go back to here. So with Bitcoin, what I want to show, the reason I showed this first is, as I mentioned, it's just got a beautiful A, B, and C. So it's the perfect picture. And now we're starting, it appears that we're getting an impulse wave up here. There will be problems at this trend line. The 3 waves back here. So once it pulls back here, then you can go long above the top here. So we'll talk about that with Bitcoin, or we can just talk about it here. Let's just imagine that drops back there. So then you can go long there, and you could also go long on top of the B wave there as well if you wanted to, as a trader or a position at this point. But yeah, we have our 5 waves there. Now with Bitcoin, we don't have that 5 waves down, because this is a nice little 5 wave structure here. But with Bitcoin, we just went up here a little bit higher, you know. So we took out that high there with Bitcoin. So I'm left with Bitcoin, I'm left with this leg, and this leg. So that's what I want to talk about next. So I'll just move that out of the way. So we're looking for it to come back to the 40,000. We may end up in a situation where we've got that A, B, and C here, because I kind of want to drag it in the same as ETH here, but we'll just be a bit careful about that. So all of that could just be the A wave, and then we have some sort of B wave here, and then we have a deeper C wave here, and then we go up like that. So that's possible at this point in time. A little bit like, well, I mean, this correction here should be 60% bigger than this one. That's what it should be. And I can see that we've got this move down through here is really a smaller version of this whole move here. So that's why I'm thinking it could just be the first leg with that there. So this is just my 4-hour chart where I just roughly put my position on. So I've got a position here, and I've got another position on this low here for this. I wish I had more money to put in. I only had $6,000 to put in, so there's never enough, is there? I mean, really, it's funny, old world. We're funny creatures. We've got the brain the size of the universe, and we still act like monkeys. So I suppose breaking out of that trend line would help. But you see how we got this extra high here over this one? It does play out like a nice third wave here, and it's a very typical like fourth wave kind of price action in here, and then the fifth wave down here. So I wonder if we just should, like, I don't know, stick our heads in the sand and ignore that there and just like follow it the same as ETH and make this as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So we'll just run with that for the time being. But I mean, otherwise it's a B wave down here. That means it's an A wave up here and 3 waves here for the B wave. And that means that we come up for the C wave. And the C wave will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. And then we'll come down here for this. And then we go up. So it could play out like that. So we still get the same thing as Ethereum. You know, we go to that B wave here, and in this case we put, well, that just stays there, and then we look at that as the, I'll just draw this out here. Where are we? I mean, I'll just leave it like this because this would be the right way to do it. So, but let's see if we get 5 waves up here first. If Ethereum, if ETH here just gives us 3 waves up here, not 5 waves, but 3 waves here, if it gives us 3 waves up to the 61.8% mark, then we'll know it's corrective as a B wave. If, however, we get 5 waves up here to the 50-60% mark, then we'll know that this is the correct count. Okay, so the way that I'm doing it will be conservative and cautious. But for me, I don't really mind. I mean, I hope that it comes lower, so and I hope it takes its time so I can collect more pennies to put in. So that's really it in a bit of a nutshell, guys and girls. So go to the 1 hour chart here. So that little move up through here, making that high there. Yeah, I mean, I just thought it was weird anyway, finishing on 3 waves there. It just didn't really make a lot of sense. Not when I had 5 waves in this little move here. So look, maybe that is right over there, and that's okay there. And we need to look at that as 1 and 2 here and 3 here and 4 here and 5 here, and that's it. Anyway, that's my problem. Don't have a solution for it yet, but we're going to go in and have a little look at this here. Let's just go in and have a look at 100 ticks. I mean, this is where the video is going to finish soon, so I'll just put that's 100 ticks. Let me just check on this for a moment. So we've got wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So all of that's kind of suitable. So yeah, this is taking us back here. Let's go back a little bit further. Let's just check that. I suppose that this C wave here too in green is a bit short really compared to the length of wave A here. So maybe it's just, I don't know. I don't know how to treat this just yet. We can either look at it as an A wave, a B wave and a C wave here for a B wave, or we have to look at it as wave 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So anyway, there'll be a lot of opinions about that, which would be great. But yeah, I think my only way out of this is to really focus on this current move to the upside here for this. I mean, it does look like it's broken away a bit. Do you know what I mean? And it looks impulsive. See, this one here was in 3 waves. But this one here is starting to look like it was in 5 waves here. So let's just have a little look at that a bit closer. So that looks like a 4th wave here. So we could look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So that could be the 3rd wave. I'm not sure how to break that down. That's definitely 5 waves here. So we could look at this as 1 and 2 here. I need to investigate that further because that looks a bit dodgy. And that would be 1, 2, 3 here and 4 here. And then up for 5 here. So that would be still all of the 3rd wave. And then how do we treat this here? Do we treat that as the low? And do we look at this as wave 1 here and wave 2 over to here? So this would be some sort of A, B, C for 4 here and then up for 5 here. That will take us up into this space, maybe even push us up a little bit higher. But what we'd be looking for would be, if we're looking for an A and a B and a C wave back again. So we're looking for a pullback. If you get the pullback, then you can go along as a trader or even a position holder at that point there as well. Yeah, so I'm not sure about that little guy. I mean, that doesn't end in 3 waves there, 5 waves. This one here is hard to get 5 waves out of as well. I mean, the proper way to count this one here would be up for 1, back for 2, up for 1, back for 2, up for 1, back for 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to that point. So from there, no, that's not right, it's overlapping. What was I talking about? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, from that point, that there, and then that one will take us to that one, and that one will take us to that one. So it doesn't really make a lot of difference, really. So we've just got to still work with this guy here, which doesn't look, I mean, it's almost like an expanded flat correction in here. I mean, I have seen it before in currencies, in wave 1 and 2. I know it's not in the Elliott book, but anyway, let's just, we'll pick this up tomorrow. Yeah, we could be on our way up here. So let's just recap this a little bit, shall we? Let's just go back and I think the 4-hour chart should be the go. So with ETH, we don't have a problem. It could certainly be an A and a B and a C wave here for Ethereum. Here, as I mentioned before, the A wave, the B wave, and the C wave. It all fits really nicely, and we'll look for 5 waves up. Or another way you could do it is probably go long on the 1500 if you wanted to. But it's certainly breaking out of this channel here, so we'll just keep an eye on that. So the market just could go straight up from that point, okay? That's one thing that it could do. The other thing that could do, if this whole correction was going to get bigger, then we'd need to look at it as an A wave here, a B wave here, and a C wave down here. If that's going to be the case, then we need to see 3 waves to this box here, or at least to the level here, the 1650. That's a medium level here. So is the 1500. We're sitting on top of group 1 support. Always expect to bounce off 3 if you're coming down. So we'll just see how this bounce goes. And it may just continue to cascade down here further, but as a corrective move, as some sort of little ABC in here. Maybe that one I had right at the bottom's not quite right. But we'll see. But it just tells me that because of the angle of this compared to the angle of this, it's telling me that that's a wave C and we should be there, you know, that's where that should be. But we need to gather evidence now to push to the upside. So let's just see if we get this in 3 waves up here. And then 5 waves down here, or if we get 5 waves to the 61.8%, that means we'll get a pullback and then we'll be going up again. Anyway, yeah, so that's ETH, and Bitcoin's much the same as well. So first of all, we've got this issue here, right? So if we're going to you know, do everything by the book, then that would have to be wave A, wave B here, and then wave C here, and then we'd see another 5 waves come down. However, if we follow the ETH book, then the A wave here, the B wave here, and the B wave here, and the C wave here, and we just continue up at that point. So we'll just need to see, the next step in the process is really just to see, well, number one, if we get a rally off the low here, and in this box here somewhere, it's all about, do we get 5 waves to the box, or do we get 3 waves to the box? That's as simple as I can get it, right? So, yeah, 3 waves to the box, or 5 waves to the box. 3 waves will take us down, 5 waves will see a pullback here, and then we'll go straight up from that point. So it's not looking as bearish as I thought it is. I mean, if it is a really serious top in play here, then this would be wave 1 over here with an A and a B and a C for wave 2, and then it could come down quite fast at that point too. So, but I got a feeling we've sort of finished in a way, you know, looking at ETH and just looking at ETH here and the nice wave, lazy wave C here. I mean, that's just telling me that it wants to move higher. Anyway, next step is to gather evidence of this move up here. I don't even have 5 waves here just yet. It's kind of, there could be, it looks a little bit flimsy, but not strong enough to work off it just yet. But that's what I will be working off. So yeah, alrighty, looking good. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. Thanks.